The lines of communication still open with the U.S. and Iran as talks between the Trump administration and the regime are expected to resume next Saturday. The White House calling the talks, quote, positive and constructive and a step forward in achieving a mutually beneficial outcome. Our next guest says that if a deal is made, it could herald the biggest Mideast reformation of a lifetime. Attorney Julian Epstein served as former chief counsel for the House Judiciary Committee. He joins us now. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. You know, Julian, you wrote a really fascinating piece in the New York Post, and I want to just sort of step back and do a big picture thing here. How extraordinary is it that you actually have an American administration engaging directly with Iran in the first place?
Well, it's exceptional, but I think it's welcome, and it's certainly welcome after the failed Obama-Biden approach of de-escalation and appeasement of Iran. I think what Trump is saying is, and the Trump administration is saying very directly, which is it's time to cut out the nonsense. You don't have very many options, Iran. You can either completely denuclearize or we'll do it for you. I think Iran understands that Trump is strong. I think they understand that he means it by deterrence and would use force if need be, or at least free Israel to use force. And I think, sort of the Trump administration is holding most of the cards here.
Yeah, so obviously it's a high-stakes gamble, and there's a reason nobody wants to engage with Iran, generally speaking. But you talk about how this could be the most significant reformation of the Middle East, bigger even than the Abraham Accords. Yeah. How does that play out in a positive direction?
Well, let me explain it, Charlie. What we were just referring to is the use of hard power, which the administration has as an option and can free Israel to do. But what's more interesting that's going on right now is what seems to be the really clever use of soft power by the Trump administration. And if three things occur, I think we could see the most significant pro-peace, pro-West reformation in the Middle East of our lifetime. The three things would have to be, if we get a Ukraine deal, which I think we are going to get, part of that deal has got to include the decoupling of Russia from Iran.
Fascinating.
And for various reasons, Russia wants that. If you look at what happened to the ruble last week, Charlie, the ruble crashed. It could be going through another devaluation. What Russia needs more than anything else right now is engagement with the Western economies and access to the Western economy. So that's the first thing. The second thing is cleaving the relationship between Iran and China. And you can, almost all of Iran's oil, 95% of it is exported to China. You can sanction that out of existence tomorrow if you wanted to through Western sanctions. The Israelis could also take out about the 20 to 25 tankers that deliver the oil from Iran to China on a daily basis. So that's the second thing. But the third most important thing, Charlie, is the Saudis. The Saudis want a defense pact with the United States. They want it so badly that they've promised an extraordinary $1.4 trillion in investments in the U.S. in the next 4 years. And if we can get that Saudi deal ratified by the Senate, part of that deal would have to include an economic relationship with Israel. And most of the moderate states, Charlie, would probably fall in line with a Saudi, Israeli, U.S. sort of forward-looking, modern worldview, right, because most of these economies want to grow. All of these things combined would isolate Iran, and I think would be a reformation worthy of a Nobel Prize if Trump can pull it off.
Truly extraordinary, and a great way that you just broke it all down very simply. Obviously, it's a complex situation, but thank you so much for doing that for us. Julian
Thanks for having me, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.